so the next homework assignment in this section is going to be 4-1, bookwork 2, page 256, 36 through 88 even. So I'm going to go ahead and incorporate me doing some of your homework problems as part of the lesson today and incorporate a little bit of notes with it. So here we go. So the first section for 38, the directions say, determine two coterminal angles, one positive and one negative in degree measure, okay? So all you're going to do is you're going to say negative 450. Whenever you think coterminal, it's plus or minus 360, right? So I'm going to add 360 to that. And then if I do that, 445, negative 445 plus 360, it's still negative. So that can give me the negative angle. So there's negative 85, but guess what? I have to go ahead and then add 360 to that again to then come up with a positive angle. So if I take plus 360 to that, that gives me 275, which is exactly what I need to have both positive and negative answers there. So 275. So by adding 360 both times, I was able to obtain a negative angle and a positive angle just by adding 360. So I didn't technically have to subtract 360. Could I have subtracted 360 to get a larger negative number? I absolutely could. But the directions said to simply give me a positive and negative coterminal angle. So you need your brain to understand that coterminal angles, there's infinitely many coterminal angles because you can constantly do another revolution around the wheel of your tire in your car. Okay? Here we go. Same thing. Negative 740 plus 360. That's going to give you negative 740 plus 360. That's going to give you, it would help if I typed the right thing in here. Gives you negative 380. Okay, so one answer is negative 380, but if I add 360 to that again, I still have a negative angle, so I need to add 360 again. So I'm going to have any of these angles, so negative 380, negative 20, or positive 340. So 340 was my positive, and then I said before negative 380. And whenever I added 360 to that again, it gave me the negative 20. And that would work as an answer as well, but you only needed to give me one of them, okay? So there's my positive, there's my negative, and it worked out just fine. Same exact thing, write each angle in radian measure. Okay, radian measure means I want my degree symbol that is right there to cancel out. So I'm going to take 315 and I'm going to multiply it by my radian measure divided by my degree measure. So now my degrees are going to cancel out, and you're going to take 315 and divide it by 180. So 315 divided by 180, put a decimal, no, do not put a decimal. It's going to give you 7/4. Okay? So this is 7 pi over 4. And all you're doing is you are simplifying this fraction right here. Okay, same thing. So 120 degrees times pi over 180 degrees. The zeros in the degree symbol cancel out, so you have 12 over 18. Divide them both by 6, that gives you 2/3 pi. Okay. Next, I want you to go from a radian to a degree. So this time, I need my radians to cancel out, so my pi goes on the bottom, and the 180 goes on top. So the pi's cancel out, and you are going to have 4 times 180, which gives you 720, negative 720 degrees. Same thing, 3 pi. I want the pi to cancel out, so that goes on the bottom, and I want the 180 on top. So you're going to have 3 times 180, which is going to give you 540. Degrees. Okay? Next, convert the angle measure from degrees to radians, round your answer to 3 decimal places. So this right here is whenever you're going to use your degrees, minutes, or degrees to decimal degrees to radian measurement. Okay, so you're going to still multiply this by pi over 180. Have your calculator up. And that problem was negative 46.52. Divided by 180. And that's going to give you negative 0.25884. Now, one thing I need your brain to understand is that you have to be very cautious with this. You have to make sure that you are checking what mode you're in. So if you look up here by your battery, around your battery, you are going to see that it's in radian mode. Hold on one second, guys. So whenever you are in, I need my camera up here for you guys to see this a little bit. So do you see this right here by the battery? If you click on that battery, it's going to automatically put you in settings. And I want my document settings, and I'm going to say that I'm in degree mode. So I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to arrow up here twice and hit this and hit enter. And it gives me the same thing, but I need you to understand if we multiply this by pi now, it's going to give you that decimal right there, which is exactly what the decimal is that it's wanting. Okay, so you need to be very careful making sure which mode you are in. These are just decimals, and that's why it worked out. But you needed to make sure you multiplied it by the 3.14, which is the 0.0811. Okay? So what you're typing in the calculator is going to be this right here. Okay? Next, convert the angle measure from radians to degrees. So on 62, all it's asking you to do there is to go ahead and multiply this. You're getting rid of the radian measure. So you're going to have negative 4.2 times 180. So this is negative 4.2 times 180. And that's going to give you the negative 756, which is exactly what you wanted. And that is correct. 66, use the angle conversion capabilities of a graph utility to convert the angle measure to degrees, decimal degrees form, round 3 decimal places. This is degrees, minutes, and seconds. Degrees, minutes, seconds. Okay? So I'm at negative 124 degrees and 30 minutes. And I want to go ahead and transfer that into decimal degrees. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to your calculator, and I'm going to grab my book, and I'm going to come over here to my angles. Maybe I will. Angle. And I'm going to scroll down. Convert to decimal degrees is what I want. And I'm going to hit enter, but that's not what I wanted to type in. What was the problem? 124. So negative 124, and then I'm going to hit the key to the right to get degrees, minutes, and seconds. Come on. And that's 30, and then this is 0. And then I'm going to go ahead and arrow up and grab that. And I'm going to delete this right here. And hit enter. Now, that's going to give me in a fractional form. So 249 divided by 2 with a decimal, and it's going to give you 124.5. So your answer is negative 124.5 degrees. And that makes sense because there's 30 seconds is half of a minute. Okay? Okay, the next thing is going to be our Arcling formula. This is new. So S is equal to R times theta. S is your arc length, R is your radius, and your theta is your central angle in radian form. It has to be in radian form. Why? Because if you have it in degree, degrees do not fall on a tape measure. Only radian measures do. Okay? So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and solve this. S is equal to R times theta. Okay? So my arc length, which is S, is 31. My radius is 12, and I want you to find theta. Divide both sides by 12, and you have 31 over 12 is equal to your theta, which is the same thing as come on, give me a decimal. 2.58, same thing. Both of those would be acceptable, so you would not have to worry about that. Both of them are acceptable. Okay? Next, number 82. Still using this. I give you your radius is 22 and S is 10, and you need to find R, or you need to find your theta. Divide by 22, divide them both by 2, you're going to get 5 over 11 is equal to theta. Again, you could go ahead and put that into a decimal, but it is not necessary. This one right here, S is equal to R times theta. Now, what you notice in this problem is that your central angle is given to you in radian form. Your radians is what you want it to be in, so we're going to go ahead and keep that. If it was given to you in degrees, you would switch it from degrees to radians. So this is going to be 12 times 3 pi over 4. This gives you a 3, so that's 9 pi, which is the same thing as 9 times pi, 28.27. And that is number 88. And I have basically gone over all of tonight's homework for you. If you have any questions, please let me know.